What's going on? Today, Tuesday, February 18th, 2025. This video, a recap of Henry Aaron's brilliant, spectacular, and stellar career. Ken Arzone here in Vista, California. I covered Henry Aaron's career in these videos, devoting a video to each season from 1954 through 1976. This video, a recap across the board, and let's rank Henry Aaron among the greatest baseball players of all time, one category, and let's rank him among the greatest hitters of all time. Let's look at his career. 23 years, 3,298 games. That's a lot. He had 14 seasons, 150 games played or more. That's incredible. That's Pete Rose territory. That's Cal Ripken. That's Lou Gehrig. 150 games a year. 12,364 at-bats. Very few players get over 10,000 at-bats in the major leagues. Ty Cobb, Pete Rose, Cal Ripken. 2,174 runs scored. That's top 5 all time. I believe Rickey Henderson's number 1. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 seasons, 100 runs scored. His high, 130. Yeah, let's see. 127 was his, 127 was his high in runs scored. Did you know that Henry Aaron is number 1 with the most 100 runs scored seasons? 15. I didn't know that stat. It's number 1. 3,771 runs. Top 5 all time. Who's ahead of him? Pete Rose, Ty Cobb, and then Aaron, number 3. 3,771. He had 3 200-hit seasons. His high was 223. 624 doubles. That's top 5 all time also, isn't it? Tris Speaker's number 1. You've got Pete Rose, Ty Cobb. I believe he's in the top 5. I think Honus Wagner was in there with the 600 doubles. Not too many guys have that many. 98 triples. That's a low number. 23 years, 98 triples. The most he had in 1 year was 14. Some years he had no triples, yet still played 150 games. Home runs. We know the stats. 755. He breaks Babe Ruth's record in his 21st season. I looked it up. At what at bat did Henry Aaron break Babe Ruth's record? It was about 11,000. I've got it here. About 11,500th at bat is when he broke Babe Ruth's record, 715. Ruth had 8,399 at bats. So Aaron had like 3,000 more at bats to get to the record. 2,297 runs scored, number 1 all time. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 seasons, 100 runs batted in. That's not a record, though. The most 100 runs batted in seasons, Albert Pujols had 14. Gehrig, Fox, and Ruth had 13 100 run scored seasons. No, runs 100 RBI seasons. His high was 132. He also had 130 one year. Stolen bases, 240. Walks, 1,402. That's pretty good. You get 1,000 walks, they're afraid of you. 1,383 strikeouts. I don't like that. Some of the really, really good hitters just struck out 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, right in that range times in their career. Aaron, 1,383. Too many. But he never had 100 or more strikeouts in a season, so that's good there. 23 years. He should have been around 600 or 700 strikeouts. 1,300. Not a good number. 305 batting average career. I'm disappointed there. I think Aaron should have been in the 330s career. He was that good. He had a 355. He won a batting title with that one. He also won 328. He had a 326. He had a 327. I think Aaron should have tried to maintain 330 or better batting average. Cut down on the strikeouts. Maybe don't go for the home run as much. Go more for the hits. He was a good hitter. That's one little flaw. 305 career. You say 300 career batting average is good? Yes, but not classic. What do I mean? The really, really good hitters are 340, 345, 350. Of course, Cobb, 366. Hornsby, 358. Joe Jackson, 356. Career. Ed Delante, 346. Tris Speaker, 345. Ted Williams, 344. How about Stan Musial? He was a power guy. 475 homers. He was 331 career. How about Jimmy Fox? 325 career batting average, plus the 500, plus home runs. Aaron should have been in the 330s. On base career, 374. That's another little flaw right there. He should have been 400 on base, 40% of the time. Not half. Ted Williams leads with 482 on base career. 482. Aaron, 374. See, 100 points lower than Williams. Slugging, I like it. 555. That's good. Ruth is number one, 690 slugging career. I didn't expect Aaron to be in the 600s, but 555, acceptable. And number one in total bases. I like this stat. I really do. 6,856 total bases. Number one all time. Also, he is number one in 300 or more total base seasons. 15 of them. And he had one season, 400 total bases. Excuse me. How can we evaluate? Excuse me. Okay. Got it. How can we evaluate Henry Aaron among the greatest baseball players of all time? His stats are incredible. Runs scored, 2,000 plus. RBIs, 2,200 plus. Home runs, 755. Doubles, 624. And then the total bases, 6,856. Those stand out. The batting average and the on base Should have been better. I've said that. He should have had more RBI, 100 RBI seasons. He had 11. Should have been around 15, 16. He did have some 90-plus RBI seasons. He had 4 of those. So that would have pushed him up to 16, 17. Where do I rank Henry Aaron among the greatest baseball players of all time? I'm going to put him number 4. Who's ahead of him? Ruth is number 1 because of what he accomplished in 16 years. He also had a .342 career batting average. That really pushed me over the top as far as ranking him number 1. Not only with the power, he had the slugging percentage, which is number 1. Ruth had the home run record for like 40 years in a row. And he did it in such a short time, 16 years. Yeah, Ruth's number 1 to me. Number 2 player I ranked was Ty Cobb. Why? .366 career batting average is an incredible stat, especially when he had over 11,000 at-bats. It wasn't just like 5,000 at-bats. It was 11,000. And he had 23 seasons, 300 or better in a row. Plus the 4,189 hits. I put Cobb number 2, greatest baseball player of all time. And then I put Lou Gehrig number 3. Why? I don't know if you guys realize this. Lou Gehrig in 17 years had 1,995 RBIs. If Lou Gehrig had played 23 years like Henry Aaron, let me bring him up. Lou Gehrig would have finished with 2,500 RBIs. That would have been number 1. That's the pace that Lou Gehrig was on. Also, his .340 career batting average. But I didn't realize this. There's some other stats that he excelled at, Lou Gehrig. That's why I put him number 3. Do you know how many seasons he had 150 or more RBIs? Now, Aaron never had 150 RBIs in a season. But Gehrig, I got to count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seasons, 150 or more RBIs. That's a record. And like I said, 1,995 RBIs in 2,164 games. His ratio of RBIs per game played was better than Aaron. Also, Aaron had 3 200-hit seasons. Do you know how many Lou Gehrig had? 200 hits in a season. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 seasons. 200 or more hits in a season. That's incredible. And it was just 17 years. And the other stat that Lou Gehrig did better than in Aaron. I told you Aaron has the record 15 300 total base seasons, 15 of them. But did you know that Lou Gehrig in 17 years had 5 seasons, 400 or more total bases, which is a record. No one has that record. 5 seasons, 400 or more total bases. And he had 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 other seasons, 300 total bases. So he had 13 total seasons, 300 or more total bases. Aaron has more. He has 15. But Aaron only had 1 400 total base season. Gehrig, 5 400 total bases. And Gehrig has the .340 career batting average, 2,700 hits. Aaron has more, 3,700 hits. But Aaron's 305 is less than Gehrig's 340. That's why I've got Gehrig, number 3, greatest baseball player of all time. Then Aaron is 4. You got to put him there because of the hits, the runs scored, the RBIs, the homers, and the total bases. But Gehrig accomplished more in less time than Aaron did. Gehrig plays 23 years and has the same amount of bats as Aaron. I don't think he reaches him in homers. But Gehrig would have passed him in runs scored because Gehrig had 1,888 in 17 years. Give Gehrig 5 more years, he passes Aaron's 2,174 runs scored. So he would have beat him there. He would have beat him in RBIs. He would have had 2,500 RBIs. And he would have beat him in total bases. Because Gehrig had 5,000 total bases. Give him 5 more years. He's up to 7,000 total bases, which would have passed Aaron's 6,800. So I've got Aaron ranked number 4. He's ahead of Hornsby, even though Hornsby has the higher batting average. He's ahead of Williams, even though Williams has the higher batting average. But Williams missed 3 or 4 years, so that cut him off. I may put Williams number 5 or 6. I don't know if I put Hornsby above Williams. You compare both of those guys. Hornsby had more hits than Williams, and he had a better batting average. But Williams had more homers, and he had more of the RBIs. So what do you do there? You can interchange those two guys. Got Tris Speaker up there, 3,500 hits. So the greatest baseball player, Aaron's number 4. Now, his greatest hitter of all time? I don't know where you put Aaron. His 305 is less. Actually, his 305 ranks him about 170th all time. Did you know that? 305 career. 170 guys that have higher. Now, Aaron played longer, had more at-bats. Some of the other guys who have higher averages didn't get up to the 12,000 at-bats. I grant you that. But they did maintain 2,000 games, 2,500 games. They maintained that high average. Tris Speaker, 345. Billy Hamilton, 344. Ted Williams, 344. Ed Delante, 346. You've got guys like Sisler, 341. Bill Terry's up there, 340s. Babe Ruth, 342. Dan Brothers, 342. So as far as hitters, I don't know where you put Aaron as far as greatest hitter. Is if his average was in the 330. Remember Stan Musial, 331. Aaron, 305 career. So that's a debatable one. But as far as hitting, put him in the top. I don't know if you can put him in the top 10 as far as hitting, batting average, and hits. Aaron did get the 3,700 hits, but it took him a long time to get it. Honus Wagner had 328 career. Eddie Collins, 330. Some of those guys. Al Simmons was up there. Harry Heilman, 342. Aaron is ranked about 170th. Did you know that? I didn't know that as far as batting average. All right, Henry Aaron's career. Greatest baseball player of all time, number 4 in my book. Agree or disagree? All right, we're done with Henry. It was fun looking at his 23 years. Incredible player. I'm going to give him props. Some of the areas he should have done better, but in all the other areas, he excelled. He was stellar. What a player. I like the 350 games played 15 times. I like those runs scored seasons, the RBIs, the homers, and the total bases. I was disappointed in hits. He should have had more 200 hit seasons. he should have had higher batting average seasons. He did have a 355. It was only once he did that. I do like the total bases. That's a really good stat. A lot of 300 total base seasons, 15 of them. He's number one there, and he's number one in RBIs. He was number one in homers until Barry Bonds beat him. That's something. Barry Bonds is not in the Baseball Hall of Fame. There must be a reason. All right, who am I going to cover next? I got hundreds of players I can cover. But you know a guy who interests me? I like these old timers. I do. They were pretty good players. Have you heard of Hank Greenberg? Served in the military. But when he played baseball, look out. I'm going to go over Hank Greenberg's career. All right. Let's see. I'm going to devote a video to each season. And by looking at it right here, he's 13 years in the big leagues. He had some pretty good numbers. So the next series of videos will be Hank Greenberg Hall of Fame. Talk to you later. I'm out.